Alrighty. Well, we have a 3D shoot tomorrow. It is the championship shoot that you've seen us shoot in the last video. And in the last video, I noticed that I was having some problems with my aim. Now, I ain't no professional, but I will say that I get into this really deep and do it a lot and really like to tinker, so I've learned a lot about these bows. I haven't done it a lot this year, but if you can see here, this is my 3D bow, and I shoot 3D a bunch. So, I played around with my weights and my bars the other day, didn't make a difference. Was doing a little bit of draw length adjustment, and I could tell in the shoot that I was short. So I've drew the bow back, marked my arrow, measured it. I'm at 29 7/8, and I'm just a little bit short. If I go up a quarter, I'm going to be too long. If I go up an eighth, it should be about right. So my thought is my mods are set on 29 3/4 at the moment, and it's eighth long. So I could either, right now, I can either move my mod up and put some twist in my string to bring it back down to 30 even, or I could put 2 twists in my cables, should bring it to 30, and then it will also bump up my holding weight just a little bit, which I don't think is a bad thing. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. But we just finished building these arrows. You can see, this is last year's arrow. Not much difference. Went with the same fletching colors, just swapped it because I had more black than I had more pink. The only main difference is this is a 300 spine. These are the Centrums. I was going to get the Centrum Limiteds this year, but I ended up going with the Premiers on accident. The Premier's the better arrow, but we ended up going with them anyway because I done picked them up and was already paying. But these are 300 spine. My arrows are right at like 29 1/4 or something like that, carbon to carbon. And these are 250s. These arrows weigh, we'll get an exact number. Last year's arrows weigh 458 grains, so right around 460. And when I shot these arrows last year, I was shooting fixed heads like I'm going to do this year, except I had an exalt last year that I was hunting with. I turned the bow down to get the bow to shoot about 280 feet per second, because that's about the sweet spot for fixed heads to tune great. So I did not want to turn this Veros down. I wanted to keep it to full 70 pounds. So I built these ones this year. I went up in spine for one reason, and that was because I was going up on weight in the front. It'll help with my FOC. It'll also help with the total arrow weight of the arrow to get the speed down so fixed heads will fly better. And these arrows weigh 524 grains, so right around 525. And that's standard 100 grain point. All it is the heavier GPI from the stiffer spine. And I went with different outserts. Most of the time, the Ultra arrows come with this outsert system, where if you see, you just glue in this 30 piece into your shaft, and then you screw the whole outsert and everything on top of that. And it weighs, I think, around 43 grains, 53 grains, one of them. Well, Ultra makes some titanium half-outs, but the pro shop, our local pro shop, only had Easton half-outs, and they're made of steel. And these are 75 grains a piece, I believe. So I brought the whole end weight of the arrow up right around 25 grains. And most people recommend if you go up that extra 25 grains in the front to go up a spine, especially if you're on the edge of the spine. Most people can get away with it, but I have such a long arrow and such a long draw length that I went ahead and went up the spine because my arrows are already finicky as they are. But that's the arrow I'm going to be shooting. And before I even built these arrows, I shot the fixed heads I'm going to be shooting, which I'll show you in a second, with the last year's arrows. And them broadheads flew phenomenal, and the bow was shooting at about 300 something feet per second. They was getting a little finicky at it like 50, which I know that's pretty good distance to be shooting at deer, but I wanted it to be very forgiving. That way, if I'm in public land somewhere out of state, if I have an opportunity and I'm super comfortable and everything's right, I'll take the shot at 50. And I want my setup to be at least 100% good all the way out to 50. So I built these. The heavier arrow is going to lower the feet per second, make the fixed heads fly better, tune better, all that good stuff. So that's the main reason with these. We got these. I'll go ahead and grab these. I ain't decided on which exact one I'm going to shoot yet, but it is the same brand. These are the ones I shot earlier. I shot these when it was shooting 300 feet per second. It's still the tooth of arrows. It is the 1 inch. They're 4 blades, but these are the vented ones. They flew really good, especially. I was really surprised with how fast the bow was shooting, how well these shot. They flew really good, grouped really good, shot right with the field points, didn't have to adjust nothing. These are the same 1 inch 4 blade. They're just non-vented. And the reason I got these is the vented ones are pretty loud. They was loud with 300 feet per second. I don't know if the 20-ish feet per second is going to change that or not, but I'm going to shoot both of them. If they both shoot the same, I'm going to go with whatever one's quieter. If they're both about the same quietness, I'll probably end up shooting these because they're just a little bit cheaper. And I'll have my girlfriend shoot these or my buddy's girlfriend shoot these because they're both low poundage and they need a fixed head. But we'll get into that later. Right now, I guess I'm going to just put some twists in the cables, bump up the holding weight a little bit, lengthen out the draw length, and then we'll go outside. Well, we'll draw it in here, see how it feels. Feels good. Measure it, make sure everything's right, make sure it's about 30 inches. And then we'll go outside, shoot it, get a rough sight in on my tape. I have not changed tapes for these arrows yet, so I need to do that this evening before I go shoot tomorrow. And then we'll see how well these broadheads fly, hopefully. But go ahead and get this out of this. And we'll put her into the press and put some twists in. Now, I'm not no pro shop, professional, bow builder, whatever you want to call it. I've had this press for 2 years now, and I mainly just did it because I'm getting to the point where I want my bows to be set up to a certain way that it's way easier on me to do it myself than to go to the bow shop and spend a buttload of time and bothering them people there to critique it and get it the exact way I want it. So my girlfriend bought this for me for Christmas a few years ago, and I love it. She bought the press, I bought the stand, and I also bought the Last Chance Archery 2.0 draw board for it. But so far, I've really liked it, and I've used it a bunch. I've changed strings. I've put new strings on the Veros. I put new strings on this Exalt. I put new strings on my old Exalt. I put strings on for a couple of people. Really love it. No complaints whatsoever. But go ahead. Do our cables. first. Then I'm gonna put 2 full twists in each cable. 1 twist in each cable normally brings it up about a 1/16. I've seen that most of the time putting 2 twists gives me my 1/8 inch, which is what I'm shooting for. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. Get this out of here. And I've done had my, when I pulled it out, I done marked this other arrow. I marked it where, so what you normally do on this is you measure from where the string is to the deepest part of the handle, where the balance point is on the bow. And it lines up with the edge of one of my burger holes. So what I did is I put this arrow in, knocked it when I drew it back, and I made a Sharpie mark, if y'all can see that, where it went through the burger hole at. So now I can put this arrow back in, and when we draw it back, if that line is about an 1/8 inch behind where I marked it from, I know I'm pretty good, and then we can draw it, make sure it feels good, make sure we didn't go too far, didn't go too little, and then if everything's good, we'll go outside and shoot it a little bit. We're also going to double check that when I put the twist in, I didn't mess up my timing. Bottom's touching there. Top's touching the same. And it looks to be about right. Let's make sure. Yep. Okay. So that moves it our 1/8. Make sure it didn't move it tremendous. So now we'll draw it and see how it feels, and then if everything is good, it feels good, we'll go outside and see what it does. I will say I've shot this once I built the arrows to see how they fly, and the first group I shot with these arrows, I shot at 30 yards, and it was a way tighter group than the previous arrows, and I wasn't a for sure believer on it yet, but this has made me believe that it does help a bunch. The only difference between the arrows is the straightness, which ain't going to really play a factor in at 30 yards. They're both super straight. The only difference is this arrow has a higher FOC, and they say that a higher FOC makes it a little more accurate. I'm not 100% sure, but comparing the group that I shot with the old arrows compared to these new arrows, I could tell. Oh yeah, way better. Way better. Alright. So now we will get our stuff together, get some arrows, get my rangefinder and everything. And then we'll set up outside and shoot a little bit, get this good and sight it in. Then we'll do some broadhead shooting, see if we can tell the difference. Well, we got it here, and I'm shooting some arrows. just to make sure the bow's gonna hit right. And I have not paper tuned this bow to these arrows. I am hitting a little low, so it's got a bear shaft. I like bear shaft tuning. I tried it and I like it, and it's worked really well for me. But I'll show you. These are my first 2 shots. Just aiming here. So a little low left. This is at 37 yards. Well, as you can see, my bear shaft is in this tree. So don't know if I'm gonna get that back. Probably should have started closer. So don't do as I do. Do as I say. Start at 20 yards. But I hit right. So what I'm thinking is, where I've went up to a stiffer spine, my arrow has changed the way it's leaving the bow. So I'm gonna have to adjust my rest left to right to get it to pretty much basically be a bullet hole through paper. It's just paper tuning without the paper. You're just doing it with your arrows. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these, try to get this bear shaft out of the tree, and then I'm gonna come in closer, shoot again, adjust my rest, get it close, and then shoot far distance, bear shaft fletching, see if they all hit the same. If they hit the same, then we're good. We'll start shooting broadheads. But cold shot straight out of the bow. Them 2 arrows ain't bad, just low, and I'm sure it's gonna get way better once we get the bear shaft tuned. But my big camera, it overheated, so I was just giving it a second to cool down, and did this and figured I'd show you. So now I'm gonna pull all these, and then Shane's gonna go to move the rest. What we're doing. Pretty sure if it's shooting right, I gotta move my rest right. Not 100% sure. I'm gonna look it up and double check. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you. But that's what we're gonna do. Alright, about 30 minutes later, we've got something figured out. I have lengthened my draw length just a little bit. I'm shooting the Onyx quicker this year. Last year I shot the UltraView Hinge 2, and between this release and this release, there's about a 1/4 inch difference between where the hooks is compared to where your fingers sit. And when I shot with the Hinge, everything felt great. I just don't like how the neck is a little different on the Hinge. So I extended the draw length another 1/4 inch. So we're at 30 1/4. So it'll fit the neck of this. And I've shot, adjusted my rest. It's getting a lot closer. So now we are at, let's see here, 36 yards. And we're gonna shoot bear shaft and fletch, see where they hit. I have been shooting right. I've moved my sight, tried to get it close, and now we'll fine tune everything out here. But my bear shaft should be close enough where it should stay on the target at 37 yards. 36 yards, my bad. So let's see. Alright, heard foam on that one. Let's try the bear shaft. I did play with my bar weight a little bit. I think I need to put just a little bit on the back. I took the dampener off the front to cut 5 ounces off so I can run more on my bars to get my feel right. Because bars dampen the sound just as much as that thing does. So losing that didn't make my bow any louder. With it being on, don't make it any quieter. See where this bear shaft hits. I heard foam. So we'll go down there, see where they hit relatively to each other. Before I go down there, I am going to put this weight back on. So total, this bow's so light, I've actually been able to run good weight on my bars and the bow not get too heavy. So as of now, I have 10.5 ounces on the back, 3 ounces on the front. That should be perfect. I had 3 of 9 when I just shot, and I could notice myself dipping a little bit. But I'll go down here and see what bear shaft did, see if we got to adjust anything. Okay, looking at this, I would say that is pretty dang good. I might be a touch left now, but we're good enough to start shooting broadheads. So we're going to start shooting broadheads now. I am shooting a little low, so I am going to adjust this down just another yard or so we can hit, and then I'll figure out my sight tape later, because I know y'all don't want to watch all that barn mess. But that is really good for 36 yards to be that close. So we're just going to screw on some broadheads and see which broadhead we like better. I'm going to leave y'all down here again, and we're going to do one of two things. We're going to see if the broadheads hit in correlation with the field head, and then we're going to try to tell the difference between the sound of the two broadheads. See if the vented versus the solid is louder or quieter. So in case I don't hit, to make sure I don't hit none of my arrows, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot like field tip here, first broadhead here, second broadhead here, and then we should be able to see relatively around the dots according to where our broadheads are hitting on how we need to adjust. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to shoot your field point at one place, aiming at one spot. Wherever it hits, you aim at the exact same spot and shoot the broadhead there too. This is how I do it to keep from smacking arrows with broadheads together. These dots are all the same size. I just aim in the middle of each one, and as long as they're all 3 clean breaks, wherever the broadheads are hitting, I know that adjacent to the field tip, I know we're pretty close. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then that should be it for today on fixing my bow, besides doing the sight tape. And it should have me ready for tomorrow, and it also had me ready for deer season. The only other thing that I'll have to do after this for deer season is I'm going to switch bow scopes, sight scopes. I'll show you a little bit better on the big camera when I get up there and describe it, and y'all get the gist of why I'm switching. Alright, get back to what I was telling y'all on the little camera. This is the scope I have on now, if y'all can see. It is the UV3 target scope, and I have it on there for target. I've been shooting my hunting setup with my buddy Cameron and Trevor this year at one specific 3D course, because that's all they have, and I just like shooting my hunting bow throughout the year. So I put this scope on, smaller diameter, single pin, great for that. Now this is the Excel driver sight on the Picatinny mount. I didn't get the sight with the AVX scope in it. I should have. This is the other scope. I don't remember what it's called, but it is a big scope. And I have a 3/16 peep in my string on my bow, and I don't want to go to a quarter. So what I mean by that is when I'm shooting with the Excel driver scope, the scope is so big that I can't see the outside of it to line my peep and my scope housing up together. So I'm going to get the AVX 31, which is the Excel scope that also comes out on the driver. I'm not sure if the 31 comes on the driver's side or the 41, but I'm going to get the 31. It's about the same size as this. It's smaller in diameter, and it's a triple stack single pin. The only thing I don't like about that compared to my 3-pin horizontal is the triple stack is not adjustable. Your top pin is the one you mainly shoot with, you scroll to, and then whatever the bottom 2 pins, the yardage there is, that's what they are. You can't adjust them. So say the middle pin's 32, I can't move it to 30 like you normally would. It'd be 32. That's the only downfall. But when you get that sight, it comes with your indicator for your sight tape, and it's one solid piece, and it's got 3 markers on it, and them other 2 markers is already made in line with the pin set up. So whatever that point says is what that pin's going to hit. It should be close enough to be good. Most of the time I like to scroll to what I'm shooting if I have the opportunity. Like I say, if I'm shooting 40 or 50 yards, I'm going to scroll. I'm going to try my best to scroll. Now if it's between 20 and 30, I will pin gap. Comfortable with it. Getting to farther yardages, I'm not comfortable with it. So it's really not bothering me that much, but that's what I'm going to do. I want 3 pins for hunting, just in case. Say like he's come in, and he's coming in at 30, and then he works all the way up to 20. I don't have to sit there and scroll. But enough about that. That'll be another video later. We're going to go ahead and shoot this thing. First thing we're going to shoot is our field tip in the bottom left dot. See how it, well, we know how it's going to hit. It's going to hit pretty good, as long as I remember to bring it up just a touch. So field tip first. Next, we are going to shoot the vented tooth arrow. We'll shoot it at the middle dot. So, vented. It's definitely loud. Heard foam. Might ought to look through the binoculars first to see how relatively close it is before I send this other. Can't tell. We're just going to send it. Now we're going to send the solid tooth arrow. They're both 4-blade. They're both 1 inch. They're both 100 grains. No difference. Just the way they're made. Yep, 100 grain, 100 grain. Alright. So, solid next. I heard foam. Alright, go in here, look, see how they hit. Go from there. The solid was definitely quieter. Definitely quieter. So we'll see. And if you're wondering why I'm shooting these broadheads, last year I shot the Grim Reaper Micro Hades. Loved them. It's quiet, they hit good, tuned easy, perfect. Shot a doe with them. Doe ran 22 yards. Didn't know what happened, fell up dead. I switched from mechanicals last year because I had shot 2 animals. Didn't find neither one of them. I don't know what happened. No blood, no nothing, and I know I hit them, both of them good. Sub 20 yards, nothing, don't know. So, but the reason I'm shooting the tooth arrows this year is they're 4-blade. They're a little bit smaller diameter, so it should fly a little bit better. And I'm not worried about the smaller diameter per se because it's 1 inch. That means it's 1 inch across this way, 1 inch across this way. That means it's going to be pretty much a 1 inch square hole into the deer. And should not have to worry about getting blood out of that. It should be plenty. Instead of it being a slice and it closing up, it should be plenty. That's why we're shooting them. And so far they've been super accurate. I have not adjusted the rest to it, but we're gonna go see right now if we gotta adjust. Alright, not terrible. Not terrible. Left and right's definitely me. Up and down's good. I've shot 5 or 6 of the rounds of this now, and they've all hit relatively close. This one's has stayed in this area right here. All the others on this one has stayed right here. This one might hang just a little lower. Definitely is hanging a little to the right majority of the time. this arrow was a bad break this time. But I'm getting tired, and it is super dang close. So I'm not gonna wear myself out tonight with my shoot tomorrow, but that's pretty much it. She's pretty much dialed. I'm gonna continue to shoot. I'll continue to shoot with him, critique everything, make everything even better, go from there. We should be good. But oh, I can flip this around. But that's it for today. That's somewhat how I tune. That's normally how I tune them. I've been starting doing the bear shaft tune to get it very close, and it seems to be doing all right. The broadheads are flying really good. I have seen no random air movement, no kicks, no nothing. I can definitely tell, in my opinion, that the solids are a lot more quieter. The solids are hitting a little different than the vented ones, but the more I spend time shooting, the more I'm gonna figure it out. We got a little over a month till season starts here, so I'm feeling pretty good. Definitely gonna start shooting a lot more. I haven't had whoa I haven't had time to shoot as much as I'd like. We had a pretty bad storm last week, tornado. Wasn't crazy. We don't get normal like crazy tornadoes here in the mountains. I don't know if you can tell, but this is western North Carolina. We're in the mountains, but it flooded pretty good, and my dad lost 120 foot, a 6-foot culvert during that flood. So I spent all week last week, every evening, helping him fix as much as we could. And then we spent the last weekend putting 60 foot of pipe in. We got some dirt this week. We need about 30 loads total to get it back all 120 foot back in, but get a break this weekend, get to go shoot. So well, hopefully everything will die back down and go back to normal, and I can start shooting every evening after work, get prepared for season. This year is the least I've shot my bow in a while. Most of the time I'm shooting 3D tournaments about every weekend as much as I can, and this year I have not got to. We've had a lot of stuff happen. I've had a motor blow in my car, all kinds of stuff, so haven't really got to shoot as much as I wanted, but season's getting here, so I'm going to have to start shooting regardless. But for not shooting in about a little over a month, I'd say, pretty good. Definitely tell I'm going to have to tweak on some stuff. My draw length still ain't perfect. I've brought it back down the 1/4 of an inch that I just put in it, because I did not need that at all. It was making it way worse. So I just need to, it's probably mostly my muscle strengths where I haven't shot in a while, so I'm going to leave it how it is on 30 1/8 and just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. But that's pretty good. 36 yards. They're all hitting in that 2-inch dot every time, so I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. But that's how I tune. Get over here where y'all can actually see. That's it. I appreciate y'all watching. Gonna try to make as much content as I can, hunting, shooting, everything. I've really started honing in on public land hunting last year. We tried to get a lease, fell through, so I hunted nothing but public land last year. And we've got a couple out-of-state trips planned this year. For sure, Kentucky, opening day Kentucky. Depending on how that goes, we might go back. And then me, Cameron, and Trevor's gonna try to make it up to Wisconsin. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. That's how most of the time I tune my bows. I always start with bear shaft first. Always start a lot closer than I did. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was, but I was not thinking about the spine difference change. Totally on my part. Lost an arrow. It's okay. I'll get another one. But that's how I do it. And if y'all have any questions, comments, things y'all want to see, if you thought this video was good, what I can do to make the videos better, let me know. I've just now started. This is probably the 4th video to go up. Not very good at social skills, as you can tell. I get to talking way too fast to stutter, but alright, we'll get through it. As long as y'all can understand what my friends like to call my boom hire moments, I think we'll be good. But that's it. Appreciate it.